glasses, actually.
Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday. Shit, I'm having to think of what day it is. Awesome part about having an overnight work schedule is you forget what day it actually is because you're trying to think between two different days.
Oh, I'm that way anyways.
Right.
I never.
I worked third shift at Waffle House for 17 years.
Yeah, they have me on that right now because of all the crap going on. Alrighty, so as you can tell, we have some guests, some amazing guests here. I'd like to thank Frank for bringing them on because I didn't even know what we were doing today. Then
Dude,
wifey had.
It was a rush, but like, thank you for all the guests that came up today because I really, again, I'll tell the TLDR. I've been wanting to do this kind of show for the last year, so yeah, thank you.
Happy to be here.
Yay!
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 Yay! Alrighty. Alrighty, so let's see. We're gonna go into some Buffets here.
Buffets.
Some Buffets.
Jack
All right.
Buffett?
Let's see. Let's start with the Pixie. Okay, she's not paying attention. Kelly, take it away.
Okay. So I have two setups. I always have two setups. I got my Immortal Dumex with the APOC 25 and a half moon tip, and I don't remember what coil's in here. But I got the Vengeance, my banana caramel candy, and then I've got my purple Siege.
Purge.
Said it right.
Purge.
Not a purge with the Redemption,
No,
and
that's me.
then I got lethal coils, and that I got some Nico. So,
Nice.
Nice.
let's just go down the line. Let's go to red.
Well, at the moment, I have my Death Wish and my Purge gun. The Death Wish, I've got the one marshmallow on it. Marshmallow. I love that stuff. And then I've got the Crispy Cap strip tip, and it's got Saddle Horse Blues coils in it.
Yo!
He's out of Canada, and he makes amazing. Yeah. And then on the B2B, I've got again Crispy Cap strip tips, and this one actually has TMV Red Dawn coils in it. And I've got Custard Cookie from Sad Boy around here somewhere.
Ooh, nice.
Sad Boy's my go-to for everything.
I got to meet them at NVE. They're good people, honestly, and they take their business serious. I love that about them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bobby's amazing. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
And Andy and Mike too.
Hey, and next, are you ready, Pixie?
Yes.
So, what are you vaping on?
I currently have the VGod Elite with the OG recoil and a very pretty brand new low profile drip tip that just got tossed on this literally as we started the show, and I'm kind of digging it.
Hey!
In that, we're running Keep It 100 Pink Burst because pink candy, yum.
Yum.
Right.
And because
Yeah.
obviously I'm not in my office today, and going with the typical style, we've got the Hexone V3 O-frame with Gorilla Custard Tobacco, which is interesting. Not my typical vape, but we'll vape it. Why not?
Why not?
Ta-da.
I'll give anything a try. I just won't guarantee I'll like it.
I'll do it twice because the first time might be an accident.
Oh, I do too. Like, back when I was still doing reviews and stuff all the time, so I'd tell people, I was like, I can't guarantee I'm gonna like it, but I'll give you an honest review on it. It may not be my style, but if it's good, it's good.
Yeah. I'm always betting that like the first time I did it by accident, so like the second time I'm gonna actually pay attention to what I'm doing. So.
And obviously running lethal coils in both of these.
Yo! That's my homie! Right there.
Would it be bad if you didn't have, like, I could just imagine that conversation, like, hey honey, I'm running someone else's coils, and he'd be like, sleep on the couch.
I'm very
No, it would be like, you're sleeping on the couch, I'm getting the bed.
I very much am spoiled in that if he doesn't have, like, if he has his cases, he has his baggies, I can pretty much walk up with whatever I have in my hand and be like, hey, honey, I'd like to run round point 1 on this. Can you make that happen?
Yeah.
Or I could just point at the case and be like, I want those.
There you go. That's how it works.
And if he doesn't have it, the next time he goes to the shop, he's willing to go make it for me and be like, all right, let me see what I can cook up just to see if we can do this. And it works out really well. At least for me.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I need. I need a data coil builder because I've tried.
It's very, very handy, especially when you don't want to try building yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I have tried. It's so bad. I can barely do basic round wire.
I'm very accident prone, so very thin wire running at very high speeds on a drill that's supposed to be set to a table.
Oh yeah.
Just
I learned my lesson very quickly we're just gonna buy coils from other people.
There you go. I mean,
That's
there's
what
nothing
I
wrong.
did.
There's nothing wrong with that. I love that we just like took over the boys.
Oh,
show.
you're
Like,
fine. You're
You're
fine.
fine.
I'm
we're like, boys
enjoying
are here.
this.
Who cares? Who cares?
I'm actually like enjoying it so much that it's just like a dream for me to have it, man. You know. Tuna, what are you vaping on, by the way? While we're at it.
Vaping on the Vert with the Rebel, and I think in here is Nick coils with that sugar cookie dough. I don't know how I feel about this yet. The Luna with Dillinger by Villain Vapes. It's a caramel vanilla custard. I got the Tids mod, which has the Ohaha on it, the Ohana, and that's got Serve Divine, which is a strawberry cream tart, and I have the Notion with the Vapefly Galaxies with some DIY juice from Mitch Hoggart.
Nice.
He got a bunch of new goodies this week.
I did. It was like Christmas for tuna in
April.
Just amazing. I almost said
Did you forget
July.
what month it was?
I almost said July. So,
We've been in quarantine so long, we don't know what month it
we've
is
been in
anymore.
quarantine. Yeah, I've been in quarantine so long. I have no idea what.
I have no idea, man.
I don't
haven't
even
been
know
in
what
quarantine at all.
day it is. Like,
I know, right?
I'm the isolation queen of the world. I haven't left my house since February 16th. Like, no joke. I'm good
For
with
real?
it. So.
I
Like,
absolutely wish I could do
I'm
that.
essential. Kind of.
And I'm okay with it. I'm good with staying home.
I have 2 jobs, and I was laid off from my full-time job as a
Yep.
waitress, but I'm still working at a grocery store like 15 hours a week. So
Oh, I know that feeling.
Clown definitely knows.
I'm essential enough to work with the horses that, I mean, they can't feed themselves, so I kind of still have to go to work. But like I still go to work, I come home. I go to work, I come home. I go to the grocery store once a week. I grab what I need in a frantic panic that still hasn't changed, even though we now have the plague coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go back home. Like, my schedule really hasn't changed all that much, other than I can't just grab the camera and go to the park with the kid without having to worry about, keeping creepers 10 feet away.
I actually haven't seen my kid in person in over a month.
Oh,
Her father works for the school system, so is therefore home for the rest of the school year with her, and still able to get his money and things like that. So considering I work in a grocery store, I also walk 3 miles each way to and from work.
Mm.
So I'm walking 6 miles a day. I'm out in the air, in the public, and around people constantly.
yeah.
It's safer for her to be there. I mean, we video chat every day and everything, but it's just, I don't want to risk bringing this to her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
So until it's safe to do so, she's not too happy about it, but she's 12, so she probably doesn't even really notice. But.
Right.
Yeah.
Big giant vacation when they're at that age, because they don't really. Our 13-year-old thinks this is great. She goes to work with me because we don't have public there. But she still gets out, she gets exercise, she helps me with the horses and stuff like that. And then she comes home and sits on a tablet, or her 3DS, or the Wii, or we try and play a board game, and then she goes out and she runs out in the backyard for 20 minutes, and then she comes back in. And this is a big vacation to her.
My
I want
daughter
to
got
treat
her
this
first
too.
cell phone for Christmas, and I've gotten 10 words out of her since. So,
True. So, I mean, this episode, right? Like, it's really catered towards women vaping, right? Because, I mean, let's be honest. Like, everything almost in the vaping world seems to be like, not even seems to be, but it's a really like a male dominant
It's
industry.
a sausage fest. It
Yes.
is.
Essentially, whenever you go to like conventions, whenever you go to like a vape shop, at least like 60-70% of the time they're dudes and they're working. I mean, I know a couple of shops like, you know, that there are a lot of women actually working in the industry, but how does it actually feel to be like a female working, or not really working, but being involved in this kind of industry?
Okay, so like for me, being that, you know, I co-own a brand, and a lot of people assume that it's my husband's brand, or that he's the one that makes all the decisions. They don't take into account that I'm 50% of this business. So, you know, when we do things, people are like, "Oh, I want Nick's opinion," and it's like, you do realize that like I had some say in this, right? Like this didn't just pop out of Nick's asshole. Like this had something to do with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you guys are a team on that whole situation.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do when that happens? Like, you can't just like smack them. Like, do you just be like, "Hey, listen,
Well, I mean,
Like,
you can, but it's
I'm
probably
part
not
of this
the
business
business.
too"? Like, how do you go about like telling them that this is like you're a part of, like, you're 50-50 in the business as well?
So depending obviously on who it is. I mean, when we had our shop, customers would come in and they specifically wanted Nick, and I would sit there and I'd wait and I wouldn't say a word to him. And when Nick would come in, he'd say, "Is everything taken care of?" I'd say, "My vagina got in the way." And like, you know, I mean, I can build coils, I can set up mechs, like I got you. Anything that a man can do, I can do. And I mean, I'm the first one to say that I'm only helpless when my nails are drying. Like I can do it. And if men have an issue with it, I will be the first one to make them uncomfortable and be sorry, my vagina got in the way. And then when they finally give in and they're like, "Oh, well, I didn't mean that. You can help." I'll be like, "Okay," and I'll do whatever they need me to do and hand it back to them and say, "If it tastes weird, my vagina only touched it a little bit."
that is totally something I would do too.
That is phenomenal.
It is.
I'm a woman, yes, but I'm not incompetent.
I actually don't work in the industry at all. Never have. I just love vaping. I started vaping because I have a heart condition, and smoking was killing me, and I likely wasn't going to get past 35, let alone see my 40th birthday, if I didn't quit. And I tried everything. I even tried Chantix, and nothing stuck, or made me homicidal and crazy. And finally, I tried vaping, and it worked. It was something that finally stuck, and I joined Instagram like 10 years behind everybody else, just for the support to keep me doing it and keep me on it until I wasn't craving cigarettes anymore. Because at first I struggled to make the switch. And somehow I just managed to make like really great friends with some amazing people in this community very quickly, and it kind of took off from there. And sometimes I'm still looking at it going, how did I get here?
Right.
Because it's like one accidental, like luck, whatever you want to call it, after another. And I'm going, how did this work out? But I can't even manage to do, like get my bills paid on time.
True.
Like,
but you're also like a huge advocate, and you also do live streams in your area whenever like you have like news and things like that. So how, like, I mean, you also have like your own live stream. So how did you come up with that?
Failure to launch was actually kind of a joke at first. Me and Hound and Vapor's Garage Cassidy, you know, we're all on the show. We were joking around on Instagram one day, going back and forth and just giving each other hell. And just and then Brian, the owner of Juice Do It, I guess he saw the post and started reading the comments, and he was just laughing about it. He was like, "You guys really need to do a podcast or something." And then I was like, "Challenge accepted." So like, I took all my craziest friends I have in the vape community, and I put us all in a chat room and said, "So, who wants to do a YouTube show?" And they went, "Me." And like 2 months later, we launched in December.
No,
And the show is called Failure to Launch for a reason, because it's basically our group chat in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like really great when you accidentally start something versus forcing it, because then you just kind of feel obligated after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't just talk about vaping, we talk about everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, music, current events, you know, the whole Corona thing and everything else. And like I said, we basically took our group chat and we throw it on live for a couple hours every Wednesday night.
Yes, actually, that's almost how me and Clown work. Is like we had Discord talks for like
Almost a
not
year.
even almost a year, man. And it so happened that for me, for example, like we came from the same background. We always talk music. We always talk about audio stuff, like current things, and that was our jam. And even from like before, we were like, yo, Clown was on a separate podcast that I don't I don't want to say which one, but I was like, dude, maybe I should start one. And frankly enough, I was like, yo, maybe I should get this guy as a co-host and then make this whole YouTube thing our whole Discord chat. So that's kind of how it started. It really sounds good that a lot of people have been doing that. And
Yeah.
What are you vaping, Frank? Since we didn't get to you or Clown.
I was going to that, by the way.
No, I was enjoying the chat, honestly, so it's all good.
Honestly, like I promote Estrogen Room, so let's go for that. Bert with that axial on top of it. In that I have Clown's favorite Vengeance, but caramel candy, by the way. He likes it so much he gave it away.
Horror's gonna come hunt you down because you gave that away. That's his favorite.
Yeah. And then also I have the Brizzo with the Redemption on top of it. In that I'm trying to save this billionaire for not dying. I mean, I still have one more bottle, but I'm trying to steep it. And then next, I mean, these setups are like what I was vaping yesterday. So basically,
Did you say
Warlock Summer.
yesternight?
Yes.
Did.
Okay. Is that a Canadian thing?
It's just like a proper, political
Okay.
English word, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. I don't think I'd ever heard anyone say yesternight before, so I like that.
Last night.
He also
I live
says,
in the
I
South.
want
We
that
create
report in a
our own
fortnight.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not that. Maybe in League of Legends, but like sure. I also have the Warlock's Hammer and Ardent SE on top of it. In that I have the Crunchy Sin. By the way, I know the flavor profile because it's huge in the back there. You can see it. Cinnamon Crunch. Why was I asking it? So yeah. Before we go to ask Chaos Pixie a question, Clown, what they're vaping on, and yeah.
All right. I got the Recoil Rebel with the Hyperion. Really, really liking this mod. It's ridiculously awesome. And in that, I got some Rescued Vulcan. And then next, I got the Drop Solo on top of the Predator. And in that, I got this Churro thing I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. I think I might have it down to where I like it. And then lastly, Gunlo Pro. Do what?
I said it's very good.
You liking it?
Sparrow, yeah.
And then I got the Grip. And in that, I got like that much left of Nico. Alrighty, so back to conversation.
So I mean, I also invite like one of my, and I would personally say the good friends of the show, because I mean I'm also part of the Vape Lounge Live, which last night spectacular we had Bogan, but it won't happen without our awesome viewers, and of course one of them. And by the way, I don't consider them viewers; I consider everyone homies. So Chaos Pixie is one of our awesome moderators in that chat, so thank you for that. With that being said, how is it being a wife of Tito? No, I'm kidding. But
How do you do it?
Judge
asking
Judy,
Lethal.
by the way.
Oh, the
You should be
story
asking
she
Lethal,
could
how
tell.
is it to be Chaos's wife? Like, that's what you should be
Yeah,
asking.
really.
Yeah. But
Stories you could tell.
but how is it to support like Lethal Coil's personality? Because I mean, he does like this crazy live shows. He does reviews every leap year maybe, and then no, I'm kidding. But like he does like of things inside of the community. So I mean, you're also like a supporter of a vapor here and there, but like, how is it like being a woman in the vape industry?
It sucks, dude. Like, there's no way around it. One of our co-hosts here hit it on the head when she said it is a sausage fest. 90% of the flavors, regardless of what they are marketed towards men.
Yep.
You can go to any vape shop, pick up any 10 juices, and at least one out of those is going to be completely geared towards women. But all of the other ones are going to be labeled in darker colors. And then when it comes to the girl stuff, they make it very distinctly keep it 100 pink burst. Bright, shiny, bright freaking pink. Like, I get pink burst, pink candy. We're good to go there, but it's disheartening as a female. And I know, like, when I walked into a shop for the first time, it was Route 1 in New Hampshire, and I was treated amazingly, and I was so lucky in that. I didn't realize how lucky I was until I went to the next 2 shops to go look at other mods and devices. And at the first place, I mean, it sounds silly, but they kind of cradled me along and went, you know what, you know nothing. So we're going to start here, and we're going to work your way through everything. And we're going to, I mean, they were taking stuff that other employees were vaping on and like handing it to me like, here, well, try this. See if this is the kind of vape you like. See if this is the kind of flavor you like. See if, and they were so open and like inclusive about it. And the next place I went, you'd swear to God that I had 3 heads. And that I was a complete idiot. I mean, I was new to vaping. I understood that, but like they were talking to me like they didn't actually want to make the sale, or that they just wanted to lead me to the most expensive shit.
They didn't want to make time for you.
Right, my favorite
pocket. This is what I need. I need a setup. Can you get it for me or not? And I walked out of the third one.
My favorite is like I'll go into a store.
Walked right the fuck out without saying a word. I was
my
done.
favorite is going into a store and being like looking at the mechs, and they'll be like, "Oh, sweetie, do you want to check out this kit over here? Do you want to check out this smock kit?" I'm like, "No, I want the Death Wish."
I don't.
I know what I'm looking at. Like you have.
First of all, my name ain't Sweetie.
You don't. I'm leaving.
Yeah, like they treat me like I'm like, hey, I need 30 T's, and they're like, no, you don't. You need these batteries because you probably have like something like a dual 1860. I'm like, no, I know what I want. I use it regularly.
I'm very selective about my shops because of that. I got lucky. The first shop I ever walked into, the manager there is amazing. And he took the time. He answered all my questions. He never treated me like I was any different because I was a girl. He even, when I got my first RDA, he sat me down and he showed me how to put my coils in it and everything. And he's just great. And that's, he went from being, you know, the guy that runs the shop I go to being a very good, very close friend of mine. Terry Clemens, he builds custom mods too. But I love the way that I was treated at Make and Vape, because they didn't assume because you were a girl, you didn't know what you were doing.
Yep.
Now, I have walked into quite a few vape shops that the guy behind the counter assumes you know absolutely nothing about vaping and have no clue because you're a female.
Right.
That's when you pull out the
And
death wish and just slam it on their table, just wag your dick at them.
you know,
I've done it more than once.
I would have no problem if they treated me like I knew nothing if the man behind me got treated the same way. But like if I walk in and then my husband walks in, they assume I want the pod system or the kit or like I need a pre-built whatever, and it's like no.
Oh yeah.
No.
My roommate doesn't even vape. I'm trying. He's still a smoker. But my roommate doesn't even vape. Now, if we walk into a shop, some shops, they will automatically turn to him.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, hey, man, what you need? You in the market for some coils? And I'm over here going, he doesn't vape. I do.
Yeah.
And I will pull out, like, one of my mechs and stick it on the counter, and they'll be like, oh, wow, you got a mech. You know, like.
And to make another point, because I just have to make it, while we're on the topic of shops and being a woman walking into a shop.
No, go ahead.
It is an absolute pain in the ass when they legit hire women specifically to have a pair of tits behind the counter.
Yes.
No, nothing.
Walking
no,
in,
absolutely nothing.
I go straight to the women first because I don't want to be treated like that. I don't want to deal with that shit. And I don't even want the option to be there. So when I walk in and I'm talking to a chick and I'm like, listen, this is the mod I have. Do you have any of these batteries? And do you guys have this juice? And they're like, oh, well, let me check with the guys and see.
Yeah.
You work here. I've seen your face here for damn near a year. And you can't tell me whether you guys stock those freaking batteries behind that counter or not. Are you kidding me? Do you pay attention to anything that comes out of your mouth? Any of the word vomit? And
I'd love to work in a
I'm
shop.
the one that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're like the holy grail. They're like your best friend now. It's instant connection, like.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten turned down to work at shops because I wasn't a size 2 with my tits out. And it's like, you do realize that I can build coils, I can set up mods, like I can do more stuff than most men can do. And you don't want me there because I happen to be a big girl with an attitude problem? Like, no.
I've been turned down for jobs probably at least 10 shops. When I probably knew more than anybody they had behind the counter.
Yeah.
See, I haven't even tried to get a job at a shop because I'm that mid-range. I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't know enough to answer the more advanced question. So why am I going to put myself in that position? But for the other reason, I'm a bigger girl. I'm not that size 2 they're looking for with the perfect hourglass that they want the pretty face to draw more people in to buy more shit.
Yeah, no. I come with puppies and an attitude. Like, that's really it. Like,
yeah.
I want to know why they can't do that with the guys.
The hair's red for a reason.
We get some buff, like Chippendales kind of dudes. Because I
would go to that shop.
In some of those shitty shops a little more.
Just a shop full of Dwaynes.
Let's do it. We'll just, we'll have a chip and chuck shop, and we'll just have all the sexy men, and you know what? That'll be the.
Do it.
Depends on your definition of sexy. Like me, I like beards and man bods. That's kind of why I like. That was part of the appeal of the vape industry.
Well, no, I'm just saying we'll have a shop, but they all have to dance while they do it, like dance in their man.
There we go.
Absolutely.
I don't think you want to see me in a man thong. I'm sorry.
You wouldn't qualify, bro. I'm sorry.
Like, I've gone into shops.
I'm big and burly, so I ain't qualifying for that Chippendale shop. So
I go into shops, and you see like the dudes are in like their baggy shirts and their jeans, and then like the girls in like her shredded leggings and a tube top, and you're like, wait a minute, are you even comfortable, sweetie? Like,
yeah, there's something a little not equal here. So I think we should start pushing to like even out the playing field.
Yeah.
Most shops here in Georgia aren't that bad, or don't have those issues, but there are a few. My favorite thing is like I'll walk into a shop and it'll be like some places I've never been before. If I'm in an area like I don't usually go to, or a part of Georgia, or even in other states, I like to check out the local shops.
Yeah.
Because I have found some of the most incredible juices that are now part of like a permanent collection, that I keep on hand, because we don't have them here in Georgia. We don't have them in this area, but they've got them in Ohio, and every shop in Ohio has them, but I'd never heard of them. So, but I love it when I walk in there and they just assume that I'm not going to know what I'm doing. And like I pull out the mech and they're all like, oh wow, you have a Meg, you know, almost like, oh, I bet your boyfriend sets that up for you, you know?
Right. Have you actually been asked that? Like, what kind of coils did your husband use? And it's like, bitch, please. Like,
And I'm like, oh no, this is for me. I do cloud comps, and they're like, you do what? And I'm like, I cloud comp, and they look at me like I've grown 4 heads and, you know, sprouted 3 extra arms or something. When I look at them and go, yes, I'm female, and I cloud comp with the men.
I blow big cloud.
and your name isn't Clouds, honey. Like,
Oh,
This
that's
is-
hilarious.
This is why I actually wanted to do this episode, because there's 2 things two, okay, 2, not 2, 2. Okay, just so we're straight, 2. There's 2 things I'm passionate about: vaping and esports, right? So I won't touch on the vaping. I'll touch on the esports aspect. In esports, you don't see any female dominant team in the world. Almost, it's like all boys, all sausage fest, and nothing's like. There's no place, quote unquote, for women in those esports organizations. And I was like, dude, what if there's a world where female actually, or ladies actually know more about esports than you do, right? And
Yeah,
then
you never know.
like that's where this world is just so jacked up, is you know that there's it's not fair at all, I would say, because a lot of us treat of it as, yo, you're a female, you don't know anything, whereas the guy in the counter sometimes doesn't even know what an RDA is sometimes.
right?
And
Okay.
and how many times have you been in a shop and you ask for an RDA, and then they point on a drip tip? Like that's just like so messed up.
Oh no, it's like that time I went to a shop looking for a 510 drip tip. The guy gives me the most clueless look and goes, "Is that the one that goes on the baby beast?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
I walked into a shop one time, and I was like, I need 2,700 battery wraps. And he looked at me like I'd run 2 heads. Like, he couldn't, he was like, battery wraps? I was like, yeah, the things you wrap your batteries with. He goes, oh, they only do that with 18650s. I was like, no, they do them with the bigger batteries too.
mm-hmm.
My favorite
Like,
is walking into a shop and I said, and they had like the pre-made coils there, and I asked the guy, I said, are these nichrome or Kanthal or stainless? And he looked at me and went, they're coils. Like,
Yeah, I know. What kind of coil?
That's when I look at them
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're stupid and walk out.
yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to another shop because clearly you have no idea what I'm asking you. Like, I'm like, did I say that in English? Like,
Did I stutter, Junior? Did I stutter? No.
Like,
What are they made of?
Stara, did I start a
like,
kid?
you got any sets of fused Claptons back there? And they're like, what mod is that? And I'm like, what?
I'm insulted as a builder.
oh yeah, like when we had our shop, we would get guys that would come in and they'd be like, well, you should hire me. I'm like, okay, what's Ohm's law? And they'd go, I don't know laws. And it's like, guy, like, if you want to work here, you need to be educated. Like, I'm not going to hire you because you have a dick. You know, like, that's, like, I don't need that. Like, if I need something off the top shelf, my husband's 6'3". What's your purpose here? Like,
If I wanted to train another human, I'd pop one out to train it so that at least
Exactly.
at the end. Like,
exactly.
I'll be honest, both of my kids know Ohm's law and battery safety and all that, and they're like well underage. But I'm like, you better know this.
Well, and you know, battery safety doesn't just apply to vape
Yeah.
batteries. That's all
Yeah.
battery. Like,
All battery.
I'll freely admit, coils are like my weak spot because I just don't have the talent for building them. I've tried, it just doesn't work at all. It's very bad. I can set up my own set of like round wire coils if necessary, but like that's the limit. So yes, it's somewhat my weakness because I'm not as good at like just looking and knowing what type of coil it is. I can't just look at it all the time and know.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't know, I will ask someone who does. And
Yeah.
I also know what coils I like to use and at what ohms. So I can walk into a shop and be like, you got any fused Claptons that run from like a 0.08 to a 0.1?
yeah.
yeah,
That's
The guy
about
behind
the
the counter
point that
should
I'm
know
at.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He should
Oh, I
instantly know what I'm doing.
was working at a shop and this guy had a stacked and he was trying to give a guy a set of .05 coils for his stacked and I was like, don't you dare. And he was like,
No,
you don't know what you're
no.
talking about, sweetie. I'm like, yeah, I do. And if I see you put those in there, I'm chucking it. Like,
Yeah.
no. And he's like,
.05?
yes, in a stack. And
I
he's
just
like,
about had a
"Oh,
heart
God."
attack.
I'm like,
I mean-
he's like, it'll be okay. I'm like, no,
No.
it's
it
not.
won't.
And they're
No,
like,
it won't.
they're like, but I do it all the time. I'm like, and you're dumb.
And
Like,
you're an
I-
idiot.
And you're still
You're
alive?
just
like,
like
True.
you're like Russian
You'll have your
roulette
face.
with a mod.
yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
Russian roulette with a mod.
Yeah.
Like I get on the Hound because he runs his stuff way low.
Yeah. I'm like, you're
I'm
going
like,
to end up getting
I'll
hurt.
run a low build, but I'm not gonna put like a .18 in a freaking stack, man. At least come up to a .22. Come on. You
Yeah.
know?
No, it's hilarious because then it's like, oh, well, she told you. And it's like, what do you mean she told you? Like, my vagina does not make me less than you. It does not inhibit my ability to think or learn things. Like,
Or do math.
right. Or understand basic science. Like, I'm sorry if it offends you, but if you do that, you're an idiot and I will call you out. I don't care if you're with your buddies. I don't care if you're, I mean, you could be fucking, if you're Grim Green and you're doing that, I'm going to be like, you're dumb. Get dumb, homie.
Yeah.
Like, that's
And
just,
the hard part is,
Yeah,
it's
I don't
not
care
even
who
just
you are.
vaping that we get that with. It's everything.
oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Like, as women,
There is
it's
a lot
just
of things.
something that we, and it's sad that we've had to learn to deal with that as it is. And I'm short, I'm fluffy, I don't look like I can do that much damage, but I fight with 1,200-pound animals on a daily basis. You are no challenge to me at all, my friend.
Right?
She's
I don't
literally
fight with
fighting
1200
horsepower
pound
right
animals,
there.
and I'm a redhead and I was raised in the South. So I can scrap pretty well.
Yeah.
Got a hell
No.
of a right hook.
Like, and it gets me, like, anytime you're like, don't do that, they're like, oh, is it your time of the month? No, I just don't like you. Like,
Yeah.
that's an
Well,
acceptable answer.
I have red hair, so when I do shit like that, they just look at me and be like, oh, you're just having an attitude to have an attitude. I'm like, no, you're just a dick. But
My
I mean, I
favorite
was
line to get
Tom
them
Brady
back
with
is,
the
you know
boys.
what? If your dick was as big as your mouth, I might actually be impressed.
I look at them when they
I love
throw
that.
the "Are you on your period?" thing on me. I was like, look, I woke up this morning in a pool of blood, and I don't mind going to bed in one either.
Mhm.
I love it. I just tell people it's not PMS, it's you.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, the shops that I frequently visit actually, and it started like a few years ago, and I saw them really like hiring women, and I was like, dude, that's really fucking great. Because one of the best things, okay, about women and vape shops, by the way, one of the best things is they know how to take care of you from the start until you go out of the vape shop, and even after you going out of the vape shop. It's like their motherly care. It's like their natural inborn talent. Whereas like men's just like, okay, let's see that fancy mod. You want to see that? You want to see that fancy mod? You want, like, 500 horsepower power mod or what? Like it's such a
And they
different
go
like
back to playing
mindset.
with their RDA.
Yeah, it's like such a different mindset in this industry, that one of the things that I personally want to change, and that I enjoy from watching like a lot of shows that has women on it, and in vape shops. Okay, like people might associate with porn, but like that's a topic for another day, by the way. But like I like.
Don't worry, we discuss porn on my show regularly.
Oh, cool.
I'm
I'm
not
Um,
gonna link to that after this, right? Because that looks like something I might have to start listening to.
Oh,
The show is
true.
called Failure to Launch for a reason.
Because I mean, not just that, they actually like know their shit. They actually research a lot of stuff too, and I don't see a lot of like people nowadays like being so concerned about their customers now. Whereas when I had like female associates or running through female associates, like they actually know which flavors I want. Like they actually remembered for
They
some
pay
reason.
attention.
Yeah, and dude,
What's the same thing you do as a waitress? You get to know your regulars and your customers, so they keep coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's customer service. It's not rocket science.
No, it's not.
And it's not a motherly instinct. It's literally, we just have the brain power to go, look, this person came in wanting something. I want to make sure they have what they need when they leave.
Yeah.
Well, it's just women and men look at it differently because men look at it from like a hey bro kind of place, whereas women are like, oh, let me get you taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
I
Yeah.
have a question for you, ladies. If you could do one thing to better the vape community for women, what would it be?
Take down all of the fans only pages. I don't want to see bitches' buttholes. Like, I think that honestly, if you're a woman in the vape industry, and I might get some hate for this, I'm sorry, but you are not helping the vape industry by showing off your asshole. Like that, you're not.
Yo, like no offense,
agree.
like some of the people
Love
that
you. This
I
is an internet hug for you, because that's always my biggest bitch. Is if you have to lean back on your tits or your thighs or your skimpy little outfits in order to sell your product or get your views, you are not actually a vape channel.
Mhm.
You can
No.
know everything and then some, but if you feel the need to spread that information in a teeny tiny little set of pasties while bouncing on the screen, there's a little bit of an issue there. And it's not the fact that you do or don't know your stuff. It's that you're getting the wrong kind of attention and views.
Exactly. And like, if you're confident in your body and you want to do that, then go for it. But do not put
Make your
vape
money do your
advocate
thing
in your
however you want. Like if that's how you want to make your money, that's how you want to do your thing, fine, all for you. I support any woman however she wants to do it. But also remember that, you know, when you do that, it's a lot harder to get respected and
Yes.
listened to, because you can be, you know, have 5 million people on your page and you can be advocating as hard as anybody else in the world for vaping.
But they
if you're
got the
doing it in
sound
a
off.
set of pasties and a song, people aren't listening.
No,
Because
they've turned
that's all
off
they
the
do.
sound. They do not
You
give
can
a
have
shit.
5 million viewers, but if 4,750,000 of those viewers are all there literally just to see the jiggle and the wave as you bounce, it doesn't do you
They
any
don't
good,
care.
because realistically, you're only reaching that tiny percent of the audience that actually gives a shit what comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
I think it also, in some instances, you know, like I said, I'm all for anybody can make money and do their thing however they want. More power to them if that's how you're feeding your family. But, you know, also don't expect me to look at you and go, oh, wow, you're amazing, because I do think you're part of what's sending the wrong message to people about what the vape industry is doing.
Exactly. You make it harder for me to feed my children.
Right.
Like, that's how I feel about it. And you know, and like I said, if I get hate, I get hate. But, you know, do not show your butthole and then put on there, I'm a vape advocate, because you're not a vape advocate. You're a,
Hussy.
you know,
Camera whore?
hussy, a camera whore. I mean, like, you're not helping the industry at all.
Yeah, like I think one of the shows I did, I called out one specific model, which I won't name who, because you know, I'm not that kind of guy. But I remember like one specific time when all this vape bans was like coming out, you know, and everything was like, yeah, every Instagram comment was like, so when are you going to do advocacy? So when are you going to post anything about advocacy related? You know, like one of those things that popped me is like, she had like Patreon, OnlyFans, and like Instagram stories. So like, for let's remove the two, because like pretty much like even my Twitter feed right now, it's like almost like OnlyFans, Patreon of like, you know, those kind of women. And then with the Instagram feed, it's like, yo, like you had like, let's say 25 stories, and then it's like you have one story which is like 3 seconds or less, that's like a vape advocate thing, and it's like you call yourself a vape
You have
advocate,
24 stories saying go
Yeah.
follow my friend that's in her thong too.
right? That one too. Like that's why I mean, if you're using, again, like if you're using your body for like to earn money, go for it. I don't care at all.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it does not only
honest
have
about
to
what you
benefit
are.
you, right? And yeah, and
Be honest about what it is you're doing. You're not vape advocating. You're selling your body, and you are basically doing, you're selling nude pictures. That's what you're doing. You're not vape advocating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, within like the Instagram world with the vape modeling stuff, like when it comes to vape, my nerd side comes out, my tech nerd, and it's like, that's cool, but can I see the atomizer instead? I want to see how you build it.
yeah, they,
Right.
I want to build it. I don't care what you look like standing next to it.
No. I don't want to see
I'm a
the
girl. I have
secret
that
push-up
hourglass
bra. I want to see
picture,
the
but that's
atomizer.
not what I show off. And like, even if I take a picture that is more somewhat suggestive, I don't do the bra and panties thong thing. But even if I'm in like shorts and a tank top and it is showing off my curves and suggestive, I won't put a brand of juice or something like that. That'll be like a cloud shot or something. Because when I take cloud pictures, this is my focus. This is my, if I'm taking a picture of a specific juice or brand,
mhm.
this is what you're going to get front and center, and I'm going to be stepped into the background if I'm in the picture at all.
Well, and even the rest of your feed would speak for you too. I mean, if it's summertime and you're out at the beach and you're out there in your friggin' shorts and your cute little top, go right ahead, take your pictures, because when people look at that and they go, "Oh, okay, that's an attention grabber," and then all of a sudden they see all the professional pictures and the other stuff, and they see what you're actually about. I'm
But
sorry,
if you're sitting on a balcony in the middle of January in a bikini,
Yeah, no.
it's different. Unless you live in South Florida. But
Yeah, no, only it should be a few pictures are the super sexy pictures, and the rest, if there's 10 pictures, 1 or 2 can be super sexy. The rest need to be about the products and about the advocacy. It should not be the other way around.
And it's a professionalism thing. If you're not presenting yourself as a professional, no one's going to take you seriously.
Yeah, no. This is my job. This is how I feed my children. And if I talk to you and you're too busy trying to figure out how my boobs are staying in my bra, then you're not listening to me.
Or trying to get free shit.
Right. You're not listening to me. You're not understanding my product, my mission. Like you don't get it.
Honestly, the free shit thing is my biggest issue with the vape model types, because I've been to a couple of expos and I've seen these girls that's what they do. They do this super sexy, the juice is way back here, pictures and all that. And and they literally at expos like walk up to booths and are like, I want these juices. And then if somebody turns around and says, I don't pay for juice.
Okay, then you get no juice, bitch. Bye.
You now.
Right?
You will at this booth. Oh, well, see, if I represent your... I don't care.
Right?
I don't want you to, you scantily clad little hussy. Bye-bye.
I don't need you.
I tell myself...
I love you.
My biggest thing is I tell myself all the time, if it's not good enough for my daughter, if I would be pissed off if one of my daughters would do that, why would it be good enough for me? And, and I have 2 daughters and 2 bonus daughters, and I tell my girls all the time, like, respect yourself as a human. Don't let anyone tell you that you're only valuable because you're a woman. Like, you are valuable because you're a human. It has nothing to do with your gender.
I mean, I have a mini-me that's just like me, only tall. So
we have that
Looks
issue
just
in my
like you
house.
too, like to the T.
yeah, looks just like me, acts just like me, loves horror movies and all that stuff just like me. Only difference is she got her dad's height. So she's got long legs and I don't. So she is 11 and the same height I am.
I know that feeling. My 15-year-old's almost taller than me.
Yeah,
Sorry, Pixie.
My
Is she
sons,
6'3" or what?
Yeah, she's getting there.
my sons are over 6 foot tall, and so it's hilarious because they'll look at me and be like, "Mom, I don't want to." And I'm like, "You better listen to me." And then like they're like, "Oh, you're so cute."
Don't you talk back to me.
Yeah.
Apparently, I look younger than I am, so often when we're out and about, people assume I'm her older sister.
Yo.
People are so surprised to find out I'm her mom, because people apparently don't realize I'm in my late 30s.
That happened at the beach last year. I took my daughter. I went and picked her up at my grandparents in Seabrook. And we were like, forget it. We still have like 3 or 4 hours before we got to be home. Let's go down the beach. So we parked and we literally just went window shopping. Like we went and played in the sand and we just went window shopping. And we're sitting there and talking. And we were looking at getting new piercings for her ears. And she's looking at the skulls and she's looking at the anchors with skulls. And the guy literally looked at me and he goes, you are aware if you're not her parent, I'm not going to sell you anything that could be considered adult or suggestive, right? I was like, who do you think I am? How old do you think I am? He goes, you're what, like 24, 25? I'm assuming an aunt.
Look,
And I was like, oh,
these
honey.
days must look rough.
Oh.
That's why my camera's back there. Like, you can't see all these wrinkles.
I'm fixing to be 37, and I get it all the time. People are like, what are you, like 26? And I'm like, do you think, my kids are 12 and 15, do you think I was 11 years old when I started popping them out?
Yeah.
I'm Hispanic, so I know stories.
It's gotten even better.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because it does, but it's one of those things where you're like,
Yeah.
Well, it's gotten even better since I started dyeing my hair, because now she's hit the age where she wants to dye hers. So now it's cool. Now I'm not the embarrassing mom. I'm the cool mom. So I can do this shit.
oh, I'm totally
Yeah.
Like I'm running around with like the plum fucking purple, and people look at me like I'm the older sister. And it's like, you know, I could get used to this. I'm gonna be that 80-year-old dyeing their hair fucking cotton candy pink,
Right.
and putting it up in like little Liberty spikes in the front just because I can.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Do
be
it
the
now.
old
Go for
tattooed
it.
inappropriate grandma. Like, that's my goal in life, is to basically be Betty White with tattoos.
I approve.
That is my life goal.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna be B. Arthur, okay? Like that is my
There we
mission.
go.
I want to be B. Arthur.
Sassy.
Me and you both.
You might have a better chance. Just saying.
Every time I hear B. Arthur, all I think about is Airheads. Do you guys remember that movie? Where one of their demands were naked pictures of B. Arthur.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie.
And
Love
then
that movie.
Jed Nelson shows up and he's like, B. Arthur. Nice.
They're showing our age right there because you remember that movie.
Yeah.
I made my daughters watch Heathers the other night, and they're like, "Why are they dressed like that?" I'm like,
The 80s were an interesting time, okay?
"I'm like, what do you mean? Like that was cool then?" And they're like, "And why are they all Heather? Like that's not even a cool name." I'm like,
Well, see, the thing is, you know, like the whole 80s style, most of that has come back now.
Mhm.
Big
Right.
hair and flashy colors.
"Oh yeah."
Like the 80s and early 90s style is totally back in right now. And my daughter's looking at me and going, look, Mom, this is what's in style and this and the other. And I show her pictures of me and she's like, why are you dressed like me?
It's phenomenal. Our daughter did that. Leg warmers were the big thing. And I was like, oh, honey, no, that was a mistake back then, and it's a mistake now. And she goes, but look, these ones are pink and furry, and these ones have little koalas on the knees. These ones have, and I'm like,
Back away. Back away. I know
Okay.
this fashion mistake, okay?
Have you seen the one, like the leg warmers that have like ears on them and stuff, like ears right by the knees? Like those are super
I
cute.
think
I'm
so, yeah.
like, where were those when I was in age? Like I would rock those. And like
You
now
have those,
my calves are too big to fit in anything, so I'm like, well, shit.
right? Right?
see, it sucks because I was born late 80s, so most of my stuff was early 90s. So it was like I had all the Hot Topic pants. My daughter thinks those are freaking epic.
I remember
like the
Jinkos.
big 50-inch Bell Jinko jeans.
Oh yeah, I had some 97s and I loved them. And my mom, she got mad, so she shredded the seam up the side. She's like, "Now you can't wear them." I'm like, "Bitch, watch me! I put some safety
bet.
pins in there, turned it into a killer skirt." And she was like, "I can't believe you'd wear that." I'm like, "I can't believe you'd think I want it." Like,
No, my mother did the same
My
thing, and I
Jinkos
still
are
have the
legit
pants
like Jinkos.
downstairs. They had started to tear at the back where I scuffed them because, 5'3". And my mother literally grabbed them and ripped one leg all the way up to the back pocket. So it was right at the base of my ass cheek. And she's like, there you go. And I just walked over. I grabbed the other one. I went, now they match. Bye. And everywhere I walked, they swooshed forward, and it gave like that flash of leg in the back.
There you go.
It's like,
There you
In
go.
the 90s, that was cool, though. That was edgy. Because I'm 5'2" and I ruin the bottom of all my pants unless I wear skinny jeans.
Mhm.
Leggings and skinny jeans are my best friend if I don't want to ruin my clothing.
Leggings are not pants, though. They are not pants.
Depending on
Are
the
they
size
not?
and whether they're your
No.
size. If you're
It
a
depends
2X
on the
and you're
leggings.
into a large, those are not pants. If you're a 2X wearing a 2X and you can bend over and not show panty line and skin, you're good.
Yeah, okay.
As long as I can't. Look, if I know what color, like the freaking hair on your butt is when you bend over, then they're too small.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, it's a real nice conversation that we guys have because I mean, I've been wanting this for so long. Like, I mean, aside
It's like, this is what they talk about?
no, like for myself, like I always like have like dudes on the show, and I agree that we'll just like talk about like vaping 24/7, but this kinds of show where we also have like other people come in, and not just that, but like women, especially in the vape community, come in. Dude, it's just an awesome experience. So like, thank you for being on the show. And so that being said, we're coming to like the hour of the show, unfortunately. So that being said, it's shameless plug time, basically. So is there anything you guys want to promote, or is there anything you
I
guys want to
always have
say?
stuff to promote. I mean,
Yeah,
Oh
like,
yeah, go for
The
it.
promotion
I felt
queen.
you know,
so you can catch Rescue Reviews this Wednesday with Jennifer Berger Coleman on the show. So we
Yo.
will have some serious advocacy talk. And then you can also catch The Bitch Burrito, which is a podcast I do with Hope and with Megan and Kristen. And we literally talk about anything and everything. It's not just vape related. And we are on all major forms of podcasting, except for Apple because they don't like the title. But it's The Bitch
Apple
Burrito.
sucks.
Yeah. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can also catch Rescued. You know, we always have a bunch of cool things. We saved some puppies, and we just saved our 16th dog. So
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
that's all my
For
plugs.
me, it's, you can find me on all different social medias as Red Phoenix. And also my show, Failure to Launch, airs directly after Rescued on Wednesdays at 10. And, we have a lot of laughs, lots of craziness, shenanigans. We're actually working on getting to 500 subscribers because we are planning a huge giveaway with a one-of-one custom built launch when we get to 500.
Ooh.
Nice.
So definitely tune in and pay attention. We talk advocacy, vaping, music, sex, stupid things, shenanigans, current events, everything. And if you like strong, powerful women on the shows, we have 3. Kelly watches the show. She knows.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually the least of y'all's problems. But yeah, definitely tune in and check us out.
Okay, I don't have any shameless plugs of my own, so I'm just gonna plug the hubby. We have the Lounge
Okay.
Live
for
Wednesdays
it.
at 7 Eastern. Gotta love it. Got a whole bunch of new guests coming up. Got some returning guests coming up. Be sure to check it out. Thursdays at 2 Eastern, he's on the Solome Live with the lovely Mark, Solome Reviews, and BFG Hodson. My phone won't shut up. And if you're looking for a set of coils, right, Lethal Coils, it's right there in the name. He's not hard to find. He's got Facebook, he's got Insta, all that good stuff.
And you can buy his coils on Rescued
Ooh, and yes, you can buy them on Rescued too, and pick up some juice because who doesn't like helping puppies?
Yeah, puppies
Right?
are great. Puppies are
Everybody
great.
loves puppies.
Yes. Ta-da.
Yeah,
Awesome.
tuna.
So, yeah, Tuna, you got anything, buddy?
Follow me on all the platforms. It's links in the descriptions. Go to Clown's Teespring to get some cool ass merch. That's about it.
Frank?
Frank Wolfbite, Instagram, Twitter, you know it. And yeah, the lounge live every Wednesdays. That depends on the time, but usually it's 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. EST. And yeah, Wolfbite will be now on Thursdays because I don't know. I just love Thursdays, maybe.
You're liking the spot?
Okay.
Thursdays
No.
work.
Thursdays are
Wednesday's
actually
been taken over by the women.
yeah. I yeah, I cannot take away anything from the women for Wednesdays, so
It also gives you a break from not doing 2 shows in a day.
True, usually, and yeah, Thursdays work, but yeah, we're going to be in Thursdays now, so yeah.
Oh god. Alrighty, so yeah, thank you guys for being here with us. Thanks to all our amazing guests here. You guys were awesome, very entertaining. That hour went by quick. And Advocate for Liberty, no, my beard trimmings are not for auction. They went in the garbage.
I hope they're kidding.
Yeah, he most likely is.
Advocate for Liberty really likes beards.
Them
Because
bitches is
he's always after
mine,
getting a hold of
assholes.
Harry's beard too.
And what was I gonna say? Yeah, check me out on all the platforms. There's links down below. There's been links throughout the chat. The website is back up, so I got that up and running. If you guys want to check out any coils or of the e-liquid I make, go check out Rescued. Seriously, they're amazing people. They make really good juice, honestly.
They do.
And we were gonna announce we picked up Still Valley Vapors as a sponsor of the show. So go check them out too. Will is an awesome guy. Just ask Kelly; she knows.
Yeah.
We have unofficial sponsors on our show because they watch every show and they love our stuff, but they're not official. We just promote them all the time for fun.
Pretty much. And
Well, us ladies, we're gonna have to get together more often because this was great.
Yeah, like
I
honestly,
only have 2 Zoom
on
rooms,
Failure to Launch,
so
we're
feel free
planning.
to shoot some my way.
Me and the girls for some time have been planning like a total girls' night takeover on Failure to Launch, No Boys Allowed at some point. So
You just let me know. I'm down.
can I be one of the girls, by the way?
Well, I mean, you haven't had your hair cut in a year, so you probably fit in.
True.
yeah,
just say it's a pixie cut.
Pour one. Yo, can I color my hair like purple or red, maybe?
You do you, honey.
if you want to.
Do whatever you need
We've
to
already
do.
got one redhead. I mean, one of my co-hosts has purple already, so we're good. You fit right in.
I'll take fuchsia.
There you go. Alrighty. Yeah, so we'll catch you guys back here next Thursday at 4 p.m. And thank you for joining us. Have a good day, I
Yeah, thank you for having me.
suppose.